What's up guys, I'm reviewing the T6E1 Grizzly and seeing if this tier 4 Sherman is any good. I recently found out that newer players could get this tank for free, so I figured I'd help guide you on how to play it. Hit points for the T6E1 are pretty good, sitting at 600. Armor is okay for a tier 4. Most people I noticed will pin you, however, it is very troll, and it seems to get more bounces than I expected it to, especially when wiggling. We'll go over the armor more in Armor Inspector. The V range is alright for a tier 4 sitting at 251.6. You'll be able to spot the enemy for your team. Concealment seems to be pretty decent at 47 stationary, 41 while moving, and 12 while firing stationary. Damage per minute is not the greatest, sitting at 850. The reload time is decently long at 10.6 seconds. Penetration is decent. You'll pin most of the same tier and lower tanks, however will struggle against tier 5s. The AP is at 97, APCR 131, and HE 41. Where the DPM is lacking, the T6E1 does have decent alpha damage for a tier 4. The AP is at 150, APCR 120, and HE 200. Aiming time and dispersion are fairly average for a tier 4, sitting at 3.7 seconds and 0.354 respectively. However, in gameplay, I don't know if it's just me, but it feels worse. Gun elevation is good at 20 degrees and depression at 10 degrees. The speed is good. It's not anything too crazy, with the top speed going forward at 42, in reverse 16, and average speed 32. You'll be able to get into position fairly quickly and reposition if needed. Turn rates again are decent, with the turret at 41.23 and hull at 43.87 degrees a second. The terrain crossing capacity and engine power look alright for the T6E1 Grizzly. I'll flash everything I use for the tank on the screen. You could copy it or use it as an example. That's just how I personally like to use the T6E1. I'll be honest, I tried finding the credit coefficient, but I couldn't find it. I don't know if I'm just blind or if they stopped tracking it. So if you do know the credit coefficient, please let me know in the comments below, and others could go down there and see it. Looking at the armor profile, it actually has decent armor. This is the perspective from another T6E1. Looks like most people will pin you, but it'll be harder if you're facing just head on. But there are a few spots they won't, like this top portion of the hull, roof, and gun mantlet. If you wiggle, you'll start getting some more areas like the turret cheek and small portions of the hull, but don't over wiggle or angle, as you'll be an easier target. Now in a hull down position using the 10 degrees of gun depression, it becomes significantly harder to hit you. They'll be able to pin the cheeks a little bit and that huge cupola. You really gotta watch out for that cupola. It goes without saying, everyone will pin your sides and rear. So how would you play the T6E1 Grizzly, and what are some tactics you can use to play it effectively? You want to play the T6E1 more as a supporting tank and with your team. I would spot the enemy, stay in the hull down position, flank and reposition as needed. Since you have such a long reload, I recommend staying with the team or at least one other person so they can cover you during your reload. These are just some tactics that I would use. Peekaboo is pretty effective, especially with the alpha. Trading is not recommended. You want to save as many hit points at the start of the battle so you can use them at the end when you need it. Hit and run is good, but a lot of tanks at the lower tiers tend to be fast. Just make sure you'll be able to get away. Circle of death I wouldn't do. Like I said, most tanks at this tier are pretty quick. If you're going to do it, make sure you'll be able to go faster than their turn speeds, or be able to take them out before you fully commit. 1v1s you can do them, just know your enemy and if you'll be able to take them out, considering you have a long reload. Sniping is not recommended. Good luck hitting anything at longer ranges. I would stay medium and close range. The battle is constantly changing. You may have to adapt and lead a push or play more aggressively on the front line. Use some common sense and keep your situational awareness. If you think I left anything important out, please leave it in the comments below so others could go down there and learn. Now let's get into the replays. For this first battle, we do not do a crazy amount of damage. However, I feel like it highlights how to play aggressively, use common sense, situational awareness, and utilize your teammates. We push the left side and the E4 is already spotted. I want to push up and hold this hill. I push out and try to get a shot into the E4, but as you just saw, I cannot pin him with regular AP. I have to switch to my premium ammo, get a shot in, and I take a hit in return. He chases me back and gets another hit in on me. I am bleeding hit points really fast early on, and I do not want to do that. So I need to find a balance of holding this front line while trying not to lose any more hit points. As you just saw, my teammates started hitting him in the tracks. If you look at the minimap, I do have 3 of my team behind me, so I could utilize them to support me if they decide to push. Look at that spotting damage being racked up right now. Also, the Panzer G is pushing up on my left side, and the Panzer D has pushed up in front of me, so I gotta watch out for both of them. I get a shot into the Panzer G because I do not want to get hit from 2 different angles. I'm more concerned about the Panzer G getting shots into me without me paying attention instead of the tanks in front of me, but that does cost me. I notice the wedge pushing up to my front, but I also see another shot opportunity into the Panzer G, and I get another shot into him. But with that wedge pushing up super aggressively, I decide to back up, risk taking another hit to get behind this pile of pipes over here. I'm relying pretty heavily on my team right now to just get shots into him and punish him so he doesn't keep pushing up to get a shot into me. For some reason, the AMX just said he was done with this battle, so I load premium ammo and get another shot into the Panzer G because I know I can't pin him that reliably. The E4 decides to push up to the pipes too, but he takes a shot and he is a definite one shot for us. I keep premium ammo loaded and keep an eye on him so I can take the opportunity. Our A32 takes out the wedge, and I'm just waiting for a chance to get a shot off without taking any damage in return. The E4 takes out our A32, and the Panzer IV decides this is his chance to start pushing up. But he does take a hit from our teammate, so I just wait for him to come around the corner and I finish him off. I activate my adrenaline because I really thought that E4 was going to circle around the corner and just start lighting me up. But he doesn't, and he decides to get out of cover from the pipes, and our teammate ends up taking him out. The Panzer G seems like he is surrendering. I'm going to get another shot into him, our teammate's going to pull up, get his shot into him, and I will finish him off. All that's left is the T67. I'm going to switch to HE and see if I can splash him at all, and we end up getting the kill. I wanted to show you this battle because you can play aggressively in this tank. It also shows how much this tank needs its team. If I didn't have my teammates behind me, that E4, the Panzer IV, and the wedge would have easily just plowed right through me, and this replay wouldn't be here. Also, with the situational awareness, knowing where that Panzer 4G was at when the wedge started pushing up, so I was able to back up behind the pipes. For the second battle, our team decides to push right. Now I'm just trying to rush into a good spotting position to see if any of the enemy is pushing this way as well. And we end up spotting the M3 Lee on our left side, and I believe that's the Panzer 5-4 on our right. That M3 Lee looks like he's getting lit up, so I push up to see if I could get any shots into him, and unfortunately there is a hill in the way. I do notice that there is also a M4 Sherman on our right side, and there is an opening, so I might be able to get shots into the enemy and help out our team over here. We're able to get that round into the M4 Sherman and get back into cover. However, if you saw at the bottom corner of the screen, we got ribbons for more enemies spotted, and if you look at the minimap, it looks like there's about 3 to 4 on our left side. I try to get a quick snapshot into that Panzer 5-4, but he ends up nailing us, and that was an awful trade. I didn't even do any damage to him. But I decided to return the favor, and I am able to land another shot and get back into cover this time without getting hit in return. You know how I always say, try to save as many hit points at the start of the battle so you can start using them at the end? Well, that shot from the Panzer 5-4 is going to cost us. But look at him, his gun is trained on me, and I'm not going to pull out. I'm going to wait for my teammates to pull up and just start punishing him while he keeps his gun focused on me. I do see some shots available on our left side. I pull up and I try to get a shot into the Covenanter, and the round just hits the dirt right in front of me. You hate to see. I'm trying to look for more shots available when the M3 Lee is spotted. I'm going to pull out and get a shot into him, but we do end up trading. And of course the Covenanter decides to pull out and try to get shots in on us, but we angle our armor. I believe he only does get 1 round into us. I go back to looking for any more shots available. I notice the DW2. I figure I'm going to pull out, get a shot into him, and get back into cover. But we end up trading, and I am pretty much a one-shot to almost everyone. I know the Covenanter has his little clip he has to get into us, but if he is able to get the whole clip into us, we are done for. I noticed the KV1 on our right side pushing up on our head, sir. I'm gonna load a premium round, and we end up bouncing it. You gotta love RNG. I'm gonna wait for this reload to finish, and I'm gonna re-engage the KV1, and we are going to end up taking him out. I noticed the M3 Lee is spotted right now, and the other 2 are not, so I'm gonna wait to see if they end up getting spotted by our team before deciding to rush in and get some shots off. Highlander gets spotted. I pull out out and the Covenanter pops up on our left side. I decide to pull out and snap our shot into him. Right now I'm really regretting the amount of trades I made earlier on in the battle with the DW2 and the M3 Lee. Even that Panzer 5.4 from the start of the game. We are going to get another shot into the Covenanter, and if you pay attention to the M3 Lee, he's going to flank around and try to get behind us. With hindsight being 2020, I would have stayed where I was at and went after the M3 Lee, and then maybe I could have also taken out the Covenanter at the same time. But as you will see, I decided to try rushing the Covenanter, but halfway through I realized that I'm not going to get him in time and decided to start backing up, take out the M3 Lee, and the Covenanter is going to get us. However, our team will take out that Covenanter in return. Like I said, with hindsight being 2020, I should just immediately went after the M3 Lee. Is the T6E1 Grizzly any good or even worth it? Yes, I feel like this tank is very good once you get used to the playstyle. If you're not necessarily used to this type of playstyle, I feel like you will suffer for the first handful of battles until you figure it out. But let me ask you a question. Do you think the T6E1 Grizzly is any good or worth it? And do you think it takes a little bit of skill to actually play this tank? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, check this one out. I think you'll like it too.